and went to read medicine at the University of Ghana Medical School. Worked with government as a doctor for 4 years, and I resigned from government practice and started a private medical practice in Ho-Fiave. And for the past 11 years, I've been doing private medical practice, and my business name is Cedarville Hospital in Ho-Fiave. I'm a politician. I'm a proud member of the National Democratic Congress, NDC. I attempted to be your representative in Parliament in Ho Central in the last primaries, but I did not succeed. But I'm hopeful that I can play a part in the building the Ghana we all want together on behalf of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And I'm here today as a colleague. This is my church. This is where I grew up. We started teen service during the time of Reverend Apenyo when he was head pastor here. So all his children are our friends. Kafui, we grew up together in this church. So we are happy to be here back home.
Okay. Mr. Kataha.
Yeah, hello. All right. My name is Mai Kataha. I've also been in Ho for a long time. In fact, I was born in Ho. So in some few days' time, I'll be 50 years in Ho.
Wow.
Yeah, born in Ho and living in Ho. So I call myself the mayor of Ho. Self-imposed mayor of Ho. I've schooled in Maoli Secondary School. But before then, I went to Prince of Peace Preparatory School, then to Maoli, then to University of Ghana, Legon. I went for training, 3-year post-secondary training at Akachi. Trained as a teacher. I taught for 12 years, and some of the schools are Barracks, Soko de Ando, LHSS, and I ended up at Ola Senior High for 5 years, from 2003 to 2008. Then I decided to join the telecom sector, so I joined Kasapa, worked for 5 years, and moved to MTN, where I'm working now for 11 years. I'm a Christian, and this is my church, and I'm proud to have Pastor Charles as my pastor. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm co-moderating with Mr. Gabriel King Akpalu. I will ask my first question, and then I will leave it the rest for him to continue. I'll come in as is needed. But I want to begin with Kafui. Kafui, tell us about your journey and what are some of the key things that you have learned along the way practically as far as managing and scaling a business is concerned, the practical lessons as an entrepreneur, having been in the industry for a while. What are the practical lessons that you can teach us or you can share with us?
Okay, so, even though I started by telling you I run an in-flight catering company, I didn't start as an in-flight catering company. In-flight was my long-term goal, was my 10-year plan. Now, so you have to keep notes because we'll come back to some of these things, okay? Now, as everybody was talking about their background, I went to University of Ghana as well, and I went to Gimpa Business School, where I learned the theory of business. So it was quite important in my journey. From that, I went to the bank to work as a banker for another 4 years, and I left the bank. Then I started my food business in my home kitchen, not a restaurant, not a shop, in my home kitchen with my saucepan that I make my meals with. So I started with what I had. I was not waiting for some huge sum of capital to start the business. When I started the catering business, I used my contemporaries, the colleagues I had from the bank, my mates from the university, my church friends. They were the nearest people I could convert into customers. So mind you, when you start a business, before you begin to even go out there looking for customers, your customers are just close by you. Your church members. If you are baking pie, you can bake that pie and come and sell here on Sundays. That's the first step. You don't need any huge establishment to do that. Now, when I started making that, I'm a lover, I write a lot. So I wrote my plan. You know, my dad is here. So I'm going to say certain things that he did that impacted my life. Where we lived at Koshoko, I don't know if that's still the name. Do we all know Koshoko? Going to Snit Flats. There's a health quarters there. Our sitting room was detached from my brother and I, our bedroom. So if you have to watch TV, you have to seek permission to watch that TV. As a result of that, I grew up as a child who never loved to watch TV, till today. And I invested that time into writing. So I write a lot. I write a lot. In fact, I'm actually writing my own book. I write a lot. So I wrote down my plan, how long I want to achieve that plan, what I want to do in achieving that plan of getting to where I am today. I started this journey 13 years ago, 2012. This is my 13th year, okay? I wrote down my plan. I sticked to the plan. In spite of the challenges, I stick to it. From my kitchen, I moved to a stall. You know what a stall is? Like a roadside food stall, kiosk, okay, which was an upgrade from my kitchen. And then I gave birth to a product called Wache on Wheels. Have you heard anything about Wache on Wheels before? You have, right? Yes. Wache on Wheels was an on-demand driven kind of food business where we brought the local wache from the street, repackaged it, and sent it back to the street. So you didn't have to queue to buy wache. I just found a way to be innovative about the wache. From there, we had enough money now to open restaurants. Mind you, we're still on the dream. When we opened the restaurant, we still stick to our Ghanaian foods, because the whole idea is transforming Ghanaian meals. We opened a restaurant called Akosomboba. And because we knew we wanted to go into in-flight catering, our restaurant was just by the airport. Our restaurant was just by the airport. So every day, I drive by that airport and I speak to my soul. One day, I'll put food on the plane. And believe me, he's been following me on social media a lot. And I write that. That's that I believe in myself. I come and write it that, look, I'm going to put food on the plane. And I will do it. What I want to draw your attention to is whatever you speak for yourself, it comes to pass. Whatever you speak for yourself. So then, after we went into in-flight in 2022. So this is our third year in in-flight. I was prepared for this. Okay? 10 years, which was 2022, I was prepared for it. One day I picked my phone and I got a message from, how many of you know African World Airlines? Togbe Akpede's airline, right? I got a message from them, and they said, we need you to put food on our plane. At that time, I didn't have the kitchen for in-flight food. In-flight kitchen it's a whole new kitchen on its own because you have to go through a lot of certifications. That one is a different story. Okay. Now, I asked myself, can I do this? I did few consultations, and I went back to them. I said, I cannot do it because it was going to cost me about $120,000 to do that. And that was a lot of money in 2022, even when our CD was just depreciating. Then there was a guy from Ho here, Frank. Then he said, no, you can do it. Break this down. Find a way to go out there. I went on my knees and prayed to God. I contacted few friends. I had some money on my own. I contacted few friends, and they helped me. Then I opened my kitchen. Today we are 3 years into it. We've catered for a lot of airlines, a lot of presidents, a lot of dignitaries, quite a number of very important people. You understand? My journey has been one interesting one. You see, but this thing that I'm telling you nicely like this, if I begin to tell you the downs in this 13 years, you would think God had forsaken me, but he didn't. He was preparing me for the destination that I asked him that I wanted to go. He was preparing me. My journey was not without challenges. I had several challenges. So we'll hold on with that one for now, and then when we come back, we'll tell you more.
So just a quick follow-up. What are, just two before we leave you, what are the key lessons over the last 13 years? You've given us the steps you took, but two key lessons you learned along the way, practical lessons.
Staying focused and having a plan. When you stay focused, let me tell you, there are some people, once they say this business is profitable, they run to it. This one is profitable, they run to it. They move, they are directed by seasonal things. But when you stay focused and you close your ears, you know, in business, you have to be stubborn. I'm sorry, but stubborn in a nice way. You have to be very stubborn about your goal, where you want to be, because there'll be people who will detract you from wherever you're going. Staying focused is very paramount. Staying focused helps you to build robust structure for your business. And mind you, that robust structure is what is going to stand when you face the challenges of running any meaningful and sustainable business in this country. And plan. Developing a plan for your goal, your startup, or your business is highly important. Why? You may not have about maybe 50,000 Ghana cedis to achieve whatever you want to achieve maybe in the next 5 years, but probably you have 500 Ghana cedis. So when you break your plan into achievable models, or yes, let me put it that way, you are able to do little things, and at the end of the day, you will achieve that end game that you are looking for.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's clap for her, Madam Kafui Aja. I think there's a lot we're going to learn from you with regards to how you developed your business. But let's go to Doc Robert Doe, right? We want to find out, how did you start your own thing at Ho-Fiave? And how many years now?
11.
11 years.
Yeah.
I think one thing that will be of interest to most of us is why that field? Is it because you studied, as a doctor, that's why you moved into that? Or why? Let's understand, why did you really, start that business? There are a lot of doctors who don't have facilities or hospitals, so why that?
Yeah. I wanted to provide medical services that will not cost much, that will be meaningful, and make an impact in people's lives. When I cast my eyes around, there are many health facilities in Accra. In Ho, there are many health facilities in Ho. In fact, the Royal Hospital in Ho here is run by somebody who comes from my village, Dr. Makwa. So, growing up, I looked up to Dr. Lecha and other doctors who were practicing, Dr. Sunu. Now, so the need...
Were you in Trafalgar?
No,
Okay.
but I came on studies at the regional hospital then, which is now the teaching hospital, Trafalgar. So, looking at Ho-Fiave, which is a big town in Volta region, did not have any private facility. And all the pressure was on the government hospital. Anywhere I've worked, people come to the hospital looking for me to attend to them, which meant that I was offering something which the people needed. And I wanted to come close to my home. So Ho-Fiave, which is just 1 hour away, was a suitable place to start. So all along, when I was in school, business had been something I was interested in. Actually, I started selling from childhood. So I went to Hodome EP Primary School. Those times we have 2 shifts. You go in the morning, close at 12. And then the second shift comes and closes at 4. So if I was on the morning shift, after school, I'll go and sell. Anything edible I have sold before. Corn dough, cassava dough, tomatoes, everything, fish I've sold before. And then market days, we go to the market and sell onions, the ones from Burkina Faso, Boku, the big ones. So selling has been part of me growing up. So when I got to the university, I started a business from my hall. I was selling snacks, and everybody from the block, the students' hostel, medical school hostel, what they know me by is my business name, Pamper Your Throat. And I had a fried rice joint from the university campus, medical school. And whilst in school, vacation, I'll go and learn under senior doctors. So I've moved around this country, just following senior doctors who I know are good in specific fields. So after school, then I went to Takwa in the Western region to work. And then from there, I went up to now OT region, Nkwanta, St. Joseph Hospital to work. So these were to gather skills. If you are not skillful, you can market yourself. People will come patronize you, and because you are offering bad products, they will not come back. So going around gathering skills, and then so when I set up, it was just from strength to strength. And just like what she said, I started small. I rented a place, and just by the roadside, Cedar Medical Center. With time, we grew, and within 4 years, we were able to build our own facility in Ho-Fiave. So, one, I ventured into a business that I have knowledge in, a business that I have understanding about, something that I can control and can manage. And in the process, I went back to school to study business administration and management. So apart from the medical knowledge, I went to acquire knowledge in management and administration so that I can better manage and grow whatever I start.
Okay, amazing. I think a round of applause for him. So I can see in your story a combination of one, mentorship, because you want to work with some doctors to understand how to run a facility. So no wonder you also having what you're doing, and you also have the drive, the entrepreneurial drive from the things you have sold. So there's a central point coming out now, right? That you having the drive is also important in starting whatever you want to start, and also mentorship. Learning from other people can also open your eyes as to what you want to do with your life. Thank you. I'll come back to you again. Yes, the MTN man. How did it happen, the transition? You worked as a teacher, and then now you're in the telco. So what is the secret? Why that drift? Is it because of money? Or tell us why that drift from the educational sector to the telcos? And what's the secret?
All right, thank you very much. For me, I've been teaching, but it looked as if teaching was routine for me, too much routine. What you teach the final year in 2003, it's the same thing you teach in 2004, and 2005 same. So it has become routine for me, but my spirit likes something that is challenging, something that comes with a problem, just to solve. And I've seen myself as, no, this is not my field. Though I've stayed in it for 12 years, I discovered that it's not too challenging for me. The dynamics have not changed that much. So when I saw the adverts in the dailies looking for sales officers at a teleco company, I decided to go there, bearing in mind that technology is quite evolving and challenging, and that could be my field. And that drove me to teleco. Then also, after my Form 5 education, I did some small work. I was a houseboy for a man called Kojofin. He works with Danida. And Danida came with a brand. You'll see them riding a car, same car, with the same branding, and focus on improving rural water. So I told myself that I also want to work in a company that has brand, or that is branded. And that is also one of the motivators from moving from a school like Ola Secondary School to Kasapa. One, for the challenging nature of technology and how it evolved, and two, for doing a branding job. Thank you.
Okay, that's fine. I know Kasapa translated into Espresso. Were you there when they translated? You were Indians, right?
Yeah, I was there when the change happened. Actually, Espresso came to buy Kasapa, so the brand changed from green to coffee, and I was there. Even in Kasapa, I saw that I was doing customer service. And I told myself that customer service, yes, though there are softwares that we use that keeps on changing, it is still not what I wanted. So I decided to move from the customer service to the sales side. Because for sales, every year it comes with its challenge. It comes with the product that you need to sell and its challenges. So I moved from customer service in Kasapa to sales at Espresso. So I was posted to Kumasi as the sales manager for Ashanti region. But what happened was that whilst I was doing my customer service, I was doing some little sales. There was this modem that came called Click, and everybody was looking for that product. People have to come to my house and order for Click. It's a modem that you have to connect. The speed was superb, so everybody was looking for it. And I went to a drugstore just in Ho, where CMG Bank, or we call it G&E Pharmacy, it's. So I was chatting with the woman, and the woman told me that she stays at Pram Pram, and she comes to work at Ho. She's a pharmacist, and she has a drugstore that she comes to work in. And I said, no, this can't be so. Looking at the risks and the travel time, I could get her something that could work. And I told her that I'll give her a Click, a modem, that will fix in the shop. When a customer comes, she will Skype and sell from Pram Pram. She need not to come here. Then also she told me he has a problem because when they come and the specific medicine that is being prescribed for them at the hospital, they couldn't say it in her drugstore. They go back to some other places. And I said, this can't happen again. Once you are there and you are a pharmacist, let's get the clinic. And I discussed with my boss. We did a modern clinic for her. The speed is quite terrific. It operates like the table net that we have here, far back in 2008. And she will be at Pram Pram, scribe and sell in her pharmacy shop in Ho. And when you go there and the sales guys cannot get the drug, she would look at you, you would talk to her, and she'll prescribe an alternative medicine for you that you can get in the shop. Then I use that as a value proposition to my bosses that were looking for a sales manager in Kasapa. And I told them that yes, I could do the sales very well in Kasapa, and this is what I've done in Ho. So they willingly picked me out of the 14 people that applied for it to go to Kumasi as the sales manager. So this is how the story went. Now this is my story. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Reverend Charles will be coming in, but this is a quick observation. So it means that the Danida environment that was created also motivated you in a way. So that means the exposure you get for yourself is also very critical in shaping the kind of future you want to have. So exposure is critical. Then also the multiple skills, it means that you saw yourself to be good in sales. Even though you're doing customer service, you realize that you're also good in sales, and that's what you chanced on with the click and all that. And today, so what's your current role in MTN now? What's your role at MTN?
I'm the territory sales manager for Volta and OT.
No wonder. A salesperson, once you grow up, you become the territory, salesperson to manage the territories. Okay, well, we'll be taking some questions after Reverend Charles comes. We'll take questions, 2 questions just from end because of the time. We want to close latest by 2 o'clock. We want to be out of here. So, Reverend.
Okay, so we want to go into the technicalities. Now we know our panelists. I want to get back to Kafui. Kafui, you spoke about the structure when it comes to building a business and how it helps. You see, a lot of people want to do business, but where they fail is building structures for the business. And how if somebody has a small business, how do they build that business that the structure becomes very robust and that it can stand the test of time?
Okay. So he's posed a question to me. I'm going to also pose another question to you. How many of you are running businesses here? Okay. Yes. How do you keep your records, or how do you run your business?
What I do is that I'm a teacher by profession, but I do makeup, bridal makeup, anything makeup. So there is an invoice that I use that when you want to book, I start small by doing this events, those who go to wedding, so they come as a guest. I trim their brow for them, then I draw their brow for them, start like that, small, then I get 20 cedis. Then what I do is that I save out of that 20 cedis. I try to save 10 cedis out of it. Because I know that if I spend all that 20 cedis, maybe I may not be able to get the money to buy those small tools like blade, like eyelashes, and all that. So that is what I do. So I save it.
So when you get the customers, how do you, when they call you from there, what happens?
Or when you call me that maybe you are a wedding guest, you are going for a wedding, I ask where you are, then I tell you that you should book, because I have to look at my time and make time for you, so that you can also come and I'll render my service.
So after the call, you book.
Yes, you book.
So there's a process of writing down something.
Yes, you book.
Thank you. Now, let's clap for him. Now, this is it. He asked for structure. But you see, I want to make it very simple. Because if I want to talk from my, where my business is, it might look too complex. That should be maybe long term. But in a short term, what we talk about structure is basically keeping very, at least minimal record of what you are doing. Inventory is one. Let's say you sell fried yam by the roadside. When you go to the market, that yam that you bought, how did you keep that record? How much did you spend on that yam? Writing down your inventory, it's actually the beginning of whether to know how your cash flow looks like. Cash flow, but we understand what cash flow is. Good. If you are not keeping records of what is coming in and going out of your business, you technically don't even know whether you are making profit or not. So structure is very important. In that structure, we talk about human, as in the human resource itself. Because we are all young businesses, I'm not going to pretend to talk to you about the big institution or big industries here, because most of you are just one-man businesses. So we are going to tailor this on one-man business. If you have an institution like mine that has about 30-something workers, we can talk about that. But I believe in practicability. So when you are your own business, you are your own manager, your own accountant, your own HR person, so you have to tailor your everything around yourself. But human resource, which is yourself, is very important in running your own business. Why am I saying that? Yourself, you need certain skills to be able to give that output, be it soft or be it a skill set in your industry of business. Keeping your record system is another one. The lady doing the online Instagram business, yes. Keeping, you know, the gentleman told you about algorithms. My business started on social media. I relied heavily on social media. I'm kind of very active on social media because that's where my customers used to be. You understand? So in your Instagram, there's a structure there that you can actually help you. If you click, I don't know if you actually click to go to algorithms. You don't. Okay. When you click there, it actually helps you to even tailor your business, especially the online business people. You understand? Are we on the same page? Are we on the same page?
Okay.
Good. So some of those skills, okay, human resource, building a robust system, okay, not anything big, okay. Building a robust system also is just about, I spoke about it earlier, your plan. Your plan. In your plan, you would have tailored down how you want your business to stand the test of time. So that comes in your strategy of execution. You understand how you want your business to be, how you want to execute your business.
Strategy.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. Okay, let's stay on the business. Okay, so you mentioned the fact that you need to get your structures in place. Come to think about human resource. How did you start? Did you start as one person, maybe second year you increased to 2 or 3 or 5 until the 30? Can you walk us through the trajectory?
Okay, so I started as a one person. I wake up at dawn. I go to the market. I go to Agogloshi. I buy my stuff. So in your case, Asigame. I buy my stuff. I come and prepare the vegetable, wash them, get them ready before I start cooking. I started as a one person. Reason is that, believe you me, you're not going to be making money in the first couple of years of your business. Let nobody lie to you, okay? If you begin to employ at the time that you are starting your business, when you don't even know how much your profit is, that is even doomed from day one. You get it? So I started with myself. I was everything, I was the one doing, even driving around to deliver the food and everything.
Oh, so you had a car when you started?
Because I left the bank.
Oh, okay.
So at least I had
something
my car.
that
I
helped
started
you.
with some, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, what about the financial results? You mentioned the fact that you had it was $120,000.
That is for in-flight. But when I started from my kitchen,
okay,
it was just my little savings when I left the bank.
Okay.
Yes.
So can you walk us through? We heard that businesses don't survive the first 5-year stage. Some people, before 5 years, they die. Some people die exactly 5 years. Some people, just after 5 years, they die. Can you tell us what was the financial plan? How are you saving? How are you putting money down for investment? Can you walk us through?
Okay, so let me tell you a sad story. I started my business, like I said, in 2012. In 2017, October, I had just rented a restaurant at Roman Ridge in Accra. I woke up, and that restaurant, I took a facility of 80,000 Ghana cedis, and then some of my own money to put up the place. Even the guys from Ho here, okay, he still has a bank in Accra. I woke up one day, and the AMA came to pull down the whole restaurant. How I drove from my house to that place when my worker called me, Madam, they've demolished our place. I'm sure it was the grace of God. So it's like you've invested money and it's gone to ground zero. I had to wake up from there. 2017, so 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 5th year in business. At that time, I hadn't even made any profit yet. I made my first profit in my catering business in September 2018. When I sell, I only pray to God. The structures I had in place, the main goal was to break even, not to make a loss. So at least when I break even, I keep my money. It was a virtue I learned from my dad. My dad was not a spendthrift. He always saved money. So growing up, anytime I have money, I save it. So when you are running business, it is not the time to be buying the most beautiful things now. Or maybe when you get a gig, like they said, we are in a gig economy. When you get a gig, this is not the time that you want to say, oh, I'll make a profit of, say, 10,000 or 5,000. Then you go and buy a weave-on of about, 6,000, then you put that one down. No. You rather save money for rainy day. And that money is what you keep reinvesting. We call it plowing back into your business.
Okay.
You understand?
So thank you very much. It means that we see the principle of what saving, and we see the principle of also plowing back, reinvesting back into your business, right? No matter what happens. That was a sad issue, but I think you also bounced back. To also mention that 2018 is when you made your first profit.
Yeah.
It takes a long time to really make profit.
6 years.
6 years.
So if I had given up in my first year or second or third or fourth, that was it. But in my 6th year, that was when I made a profit. And even that, it was, it's funny, but it was a dream. I prayed to God after my birthday in that year. I told God I wanted to be happy. And I told God to give me an idea that can help my business to be happy. Let me tell you something. Let nobody lie to you. There's a God factor in every business.
Sure.
No matter what. And I used to tell Reverend, when I call him, I used to tell him that growing up in Sunday school, they used to tell us that prayer is a communication between you and God. But when you become an entrepreneur, that is when you understand it. Because even when you are driving, you are praying. When you are washing, you are telling God, God, Charlie, I've sent that proposal. What is happening? God, I spoke to these people. What is going on? God, please make it for me. Like, make it happen. That is when you realize that it's actually communication, not the one that you come and shout. I mean, praying in tongues is also good, but that is when you realize that prayer is communication between you and your God. So that God factor, when I prayed to God that day, I dreamt. Everything I wrote in that advert I made in that year, I saw it in my dream. And that was my breakthrough. It was a product I designed, and that product brought me profit.
Good. Amazing. Thank you very much. Let's clap for her. I still want to take a question from the audience, but I also want to hear your side of the story when it comes to the money issue. How did you start? You said you got a place and all that. Now you've built your own place. In how many years? Is it in 3 years?
No, we built after 4 years.
After 4 years, you built. Yeah. And she made her first profit in what? In 6 years. Good. Tell us, how did it work?
It's all about the principles of plowing back. Actually, because I had the mindset that I was going into business, I cut off a lot of things. I love football and I love watching football, but I suspended my DSTV account.
So they say, listen here, cut off a lot of things. Tell somebody cut off a lot of things. Good, go ahead.
And for 2 years straight, I did not buy any new shoes or new shirts.
And that's sacrifice. So write sacrifice down. Sacrifice. He didn't buy any new shoe or new shirt. If you're a lady, maybe Brazilian hair would have come in. Go ahead.
Then the next thing I did was the little money I had, I import vehicles, cars. So that's where it started. So I import a car from US, sell it, get some money, put it down. Import, sell, get some money, put it down. And then I added the savings I had as a practicing medical doctor. Then I moved to rent a place, start the clinic, bring in nurses, buy equipment. Actually, hospital is a very expensive thing to do. Even the hospital bed, one bed is about 10,000 cedis and more. So it's very capital intensive. But I was lucky that I had saved and started small, and every money that I get, I put it back. So the first year of my private practice, I did not resign from government work. I relied on my colleagues who were on leave. So a friend on leave will come and do 1 month, another friend on leave. So in 12 months, I had 12 friends, medical doctors, who came in to stand in for me. In the 13th month, then I said goodbye to government practice. But I lied to my family, my parents. I lied to them that I was taking...
Is that a holy lie?
Because
you're in church, so that's the holy lie, right?
No, this is not a holy lie. I told them that I was going on steady leave without pay to start out a business and see. Meanwhile, I had actually resigned. So one of our speakers said, when you start doing something, it's you. When your parents start seeing the results, they will not oppose you and they will not antagonize you. So that's what happened. So by the time my mom realized that I was of wisdom, he may drop something in your life. So let the burden that we put on people, that is what also makes them makes them corrupt, because they want to make something for themselves and then meet other people's needs. But most importantly, the people that become leaders, most of them do not have the fear of God in them. That is the fundamental thing. They do not have the fear of God. How on earth can you be a chief executive just for 3 years and you are able to build mansions and people are around, hospital bills, hospitals are breaking down, beds are not there, if you do not know somebody who is in a big hospital, if you are sick, you cannot get bed in Kolebu. If you don't know somebody somewhere, these are not the things we expect Ghana to be. I do not have to know somebody in an office before something is done. I do not have to know somebody in a certain hospital before my mother will be taken care of. Somebody must not know that I'm a doctor before they will be in eagerness to attend to a relative of mine. So please, you do not have to know that I am a minister or a director before you behave well towards kids in your class. If you are a teacher, teach with passion and leave an impact in the lives of those children and raise them up. Tomorrow, they will even make an impact in your life more than your own children that you have birthed.
All right, thank you very much. You summarized it all. Please hold your questions. Let's give the opportunity to Mr. Kataha on the area of communication. All of us have, there was a statement that was made by one of the earlier presenters that he said he bought a phone for 3,000 and within some short time he bought it, which means that communication is a business. Whether we like it or not, is an essential part of our lives. Every business transaction always often begins and ends with some level of communication. How can we take advantage? What are the opportunities that are there that you can open our eyes to see? And how can we benefit from this business of communication?
All right, thank you very much. I also subscribe to the discussion that communication is key. Unless you are dead, then you will not communicate. Let me see by hand those who in the past 8 hours have not spoken to anybody. No hands. Okay. Past 8 hours, you've not spoken to anybody. All right, you are special, eh? Okay, so let me see by hands in the past 3 hours, you've not communicated with anybody. Not even on WhatsApp. No text messaging. All right, the hands are up. They are down. But I want to say that communication is key. We can't do without it. And for businesses, we look for the needs of people and build on the needs of people. As I'm talking right now, some people at MTN Academy that are looking for the needs, our needs in the next 5 years. There are people that are discussing what will be the needs of us in the next 10 years. What will be the needs for us in the next 15 years? Because once we are alive, we are going to talk. So it's one of the industries that cannot and must not go down unless we are dead or something mystical happen. God, or unless Jesus comes, then we are raptured. And that is where communication will not be on earth. But as we live on earth, deal with one another, establish relationship, work on contracts, we are definitely going to talk. We are definitely going to communicate. We are definitely going to converse. When we are definitely going to strike businesses with people. And these are the industries that people are yielding to. Communication is key, and the infrastructure that comes with it is quite expensive. I want to say it again, communication is key, but the infrastructure that comes with it is quite expensive. All the software that we have learned about and all the operation systems that we have worked about, if the infrastructure is not there, we can't work. If there's no cell site, I believe there will not be WhatsApp, there will not be phones, to talk with. So the infrastructure, it's also there for us to take advantage of. And communication is such that it had become a very big industry that transcends from voice communication to messaging to data analysis and now to apps. So now a lot of people don't do voice. They do data through apps. So people are here and I ask, 8 hours you've not communicated. She thought I'm talking about talking to somebody, but she has WhatsApp. And as you open the app, you have burned some digits, or you have burned some airtime, or you have spent some money. Even if it is a peswa, it is money. So if all of us, in every 2 or 3 minutes, will give out a peswa, you can imagine the population in Ghana, and for that matter, in Africa, making a peswa out of your communication. So the industry is big, and the industry players are also big. We talk about Huawei, which is a very big company. We also talk about Ericsson, very big company that have taken advantage of the telecom system. All the infrastructure that you see, all the cell sites that you see are being built by these companies, Huawei and Ericsson. And these are the technologies that are taken from abroad and are used here. And I believe that once we also master it here, there's no need bringing people from outside to build this infrastructure for us. Where I am working in MTN, we have made a counter app. Apart from the WhatsApp, we also have Ayoba, which is a messaging app, just operating like WhatsApp. Because we have seen that we are making a lot of money for outsiders without we gaining nothing. So we have also made our counter app called Ayoba, and we have improved on it. WhatsApp only displays your communication, but in Ayoba, you can program it in such a way that you can receive news coming automatically. News from Africa, news from Europe, and news within you coming automatically that you can see. It also comes with sports and music trends that we need to take advantage of. Frankly speaking, if you want to break communication with somebody right now, you either start first with football or secondly with music. Because somebody likes one music or the other, or somebody likes one sports or the other. So to strike the communication, you have to do it with this. And the telecos have taken advantage of it. They have taken advantage of it.
Good.
And they use it so much, such that we also need to get involved so that we can benefit from what they do. So the infrastructure bit, we need to get involved. As we build the system, we should also be involved to build our own system to work with within the country so that we can also retain some of the bonnets that are here. I am also proud to tell you that my company is adjudged as the best tax or the biggest taxpayer in the country because of what we do. In everything, any revenue that comes from that sector, we pay tax. And that is what we use to
You pay more than the
develop.
mining companies? You pay more than the mining companies, right?
Yeah, we pay tax more than the mining companies. I was surprised that in kind of rating the companies with regards to tax, Newmont Ghana Limited was second to MTN. I was surprised. Newmont Ghana Limited.
Was second to MTN?
Yes, was second to
On
MTN.
Ghana Club 100, so are you second or first?
Yes, Ghana Club 100, last 2 years we were 100.
Okay.
But we moved to second position last year.
And Newmont is first.
And Newmont is first.
It's a competition, right?
Yes, it's
Mining
a
top.
competition. So Newmont, MTN Ghana, they are competing based on the opportunities that they have harnessed within the system and are utilizing it to the benefit of the people.
Okay, thank you very much. Before we open the floor for questions, I want to take it to Mr. Desmond. How can we take advantage of the huge platform MTN has to make some money with our phone? How can we take advantage of that to make some money with our phone? And those who want to ask the questions, you get ready to come in after this. Is my brother still there? Okay, yes.
All right, so just as Mr. Mauli said, we have platforms and we have products. So a product is, if I want to sell you something, I will sell it to you one-on-one or to a group of people, and that is a product. But people have realized that platforms support many people to make their own business work on these platforms. So Mark Zuckerberg, for instance, realized that communication is key. And for him to succeed, he wants to make you succeed. So he created Facebook as a platform that will make you make money. So in you making money, the little he makes out of you making money is what sustains him as well. So it's a strategy that they put together. That is why all the successful people on planet Earth want to own all communication channels, because that is the secret to getting to people, you know. So once they knew that, or they realized that you have a platform that can reach people, they are quick to run to you to buy it from you. So on the basis of platforms and product, what product do you have? And how can you create a platform around your product that can make you succeed? It could be yourself or anything. So when it comes to communication, you look at the platforms that exist that can help you to communicate and make money. So what people are doing now is that if you have a product, you can start creating your own community on WhatsApp. So people have built their own WhatsApp communities. Okay, so if I sell, let's say, makeup stuff, I can go to WhatsApp, brand my own community, create a channel where you can start communicating by demonstrating thought leadership. So you start researching, learning, and teaching. So once you start learning, teaching, people begin to trust you on what it is that you are selling, you know. So communication may not be direct revenue generation, but it could be the most powerful platform or tool that you can use to sell anything that you want to sell. So once you identify what it is that you want to do, quickly create a platform for yourself. So you go to LinkedIn, for instance. It's a platform for communication. So who are your target audience? Start researching, creating your persona, creating your digital footprints, and then start communicating in clear terms what your value is. And those who need your value would definitely, and don't forget, we are billions that are on Earth. So you can just be in this room right now and reach people that you may never reach on a normal day. Sometimes I have people from China, US, who chat me on LinkedIn just because I made a post, and the post is in their interest. So recently I had a call, even yesterday I had 2 calls from 2 different countries. People I never knew, but they called at the time that I couldn't see the missed call, but I can't call back because of the rate. So I do receive some of this stuff. So once you know what you want to do, indirectly, use communication as a tool to begin to reach out to your market and then make your money. So sometimes the kind of things we type and put on our statuses, you know, Some of us are not utilizing these platforms very well. People use it to insult, people use it to downgrade, people use that to do a lot of things. But you'll be surprised that it can easily be seen in a light just by people viewing your status. Once they view your status once or twice, you have created an impression of your whole personality. There are people that when I see them as very sarcastic. There are some people when I see them as not very serious. Not because they have told me, but everything that they communicate out there is just so negative. Some insulting all the time on their status. For instance, if I have all these great men in my contact list, and the next thing I put on my status is, you who is reading this, it is for you. You are not serious. Indirectly, I'm insulting everybody here. And these are people who are networks that we should take advantage of. And lastly, sometimes too, our phones are there. We have contacts on our phones. We only talk to people who we know, who are our friends, who are at our level, who may not have what it takes to lift us up to the next level. I've jumped onto platforms because I took my phone just to check up on somebody. Hello, sir. I was just thinking about you. How are you? And that was all. The following day, yes, this morning, we're having a board meeting, and they said they wanted someone to come and talk on this issue, and you came to mind. And that is how people's lives just change, through communication. So communication is key, and it may not be direct, where you ask me to call someone for you so that I charge you for that, or, So if you want to make direct money to say, then you must go into things like digital marketing, where you help people communicate, and they pay you for that communication that you are doing on their behalf, but on a commercial scale. So thank you.
Okay, just a quick follow-up. Thank you. That was very brilliant. A quick follow-up. We see the likes. I know the telcos, you sell data, you sell voice. Momo is also an ad. It started as M-Pesa in Kenya, and now we have Momo here in Ghana. Right. So looking at an SHS graduate, a JHS graduate, a university graduate, right, we want to know what kind of direct business can we get from MTN? You mentioned sales. I know sales, sales is your ability to sell. If you can sell, they don't even mind your degree or whatever you have. Right. So what are some of the direct jobs that these SHS graduates, JHS graduates, and university graduates can cash in, aside what the AI man just mentioned to us?
All right, thank you very much. We have job for even JSS leavers and also SS leavers. What they can cash in directly as JSS leavers is that we teach them how to download the apps. And once you download the apps, we get some money and we share it with you. The add-on is that you encourage people to use the app. Once there's transaction on the app, and the app can be used for messaging, it can be used for transaction. You can do your Momo stuff on the apps. Once you use the app to do the Momo, we'll share the profit with you. We take 60%, you take 40%. So if you download, let's say, normally the JSS guys, we give them a target of 7 to be productive in a day. So you do My MTN app 7, you do Momo app 7, you do Ayoba 7, and there's transaction on all of them. Once there's transaction on it, more than 1 cedi, 50 pesos, we pay you 1 cedi. We share 1 cedi with you, sorry. You take 40 pesos, you take 60 pesos. So you'll be surprised that at the end of the month, some GSS graduates with us get 1,800 cedis for app downloads. And also, they give them some back margins. That is just what we call M0. M0 is where you download the app immediately and the person performs some transaction. At the end of the month, if there are some more transactions on the app, we share that with you as well. So for JSS graduates, yes, we have a place for you. You can at least get some money into your pocket and not worry your parents with regards to the petty things that you can do on your own. For the XXX graduate, yes, they can also do the app, but we also encourage them that once they get some money for savings, they can come to us. We can provision what we call an agent SIM for them. Those that you have been seeing in town doing the cash in, cash out, Some are just SSS students. That goes for business certificate either from the assembly or from the Registrar General Department. We provision a SIM for them, we call it agent SIM. They load cash on this agent SIM and do transactions. You go to them, they collect your fiscal cash, they send e-cash, and we pay their commission out of what they do. So they receive two types of commission. They receive the cash out commission and also cash in commission as they do the business. So a lot more people in Volta region and OT, we have almost 16,200 agents doing that business of cash in, cash out. Then also people who have business already, people want to pay with cash. So we do what we call merchant SIM cards for them. And for the merchant SIM cards, it carries a lot of cash on it. And you can also transfer it at a minimum cost to buy things that are not around you, that are far off. So this day, you don't see a lot of people traveling to Accra to buy with cash, holding cash. They only transfer money from their agent account to the owners of businesses in Accra and Kumasi, and these goods are sent to them to sell. And that is the business.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Can we take the questions now? And then when we return from the questions, we are getting ready to wrap up. I'm turning my co-moderator to a facilitator. He will speak a little bit on volunteering, and then I'll take the last word from the other panelists, and then we'll wrap it up for today. Okay. So those who want to ask the question, number one, where's the second person? There were two hands. So number one, number two, number three. Okay, please approach the mic and ask your question. For the purpose of those, there are some who are following online. There are some who are following, and if you are following online, you have a question, you can type it in the comment section. The media team will bring your questions and we can answer them. Thank you.
Excuse me, are you the former SRC president of ATU?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. My question is to the madam. Is it Madam Kafi? I don't know if I'm getting
Yes.
it. Yes. My question is to madam. How much of a percentage? I want to know how much of a percentage did goodwill or generational wealth contributed to your success of your business? And also, I also want to know how would you advise someone that is not from, maybe, excuse me to say, your class, that someone who is not from the banking, who has not even attended the Legons or a medical school or the espresso, someone an ordinary person who doesn't have that means, that connection to work to stand charts and so look, I want to invest millions in my business, and whether the business collapses or not, I know I have a backbone. Daddy is there to back me up. Somebody is there to do this, and I can survive for 6 months. I want to know, this normal person from a ghetto, how would you advise that person to approach business? Because all the things I heard is like people that are from a class that you could try any business at any given time. Unlike me, who doesn't have enough to be sampling, to be throwing my, I'm so, I should be very cautious of throwing money into something. I don't know how I would even raise 80,000 and my business will collapse and I can wake up the next day. It's not possible. Maybe that would be the end of my name somewhere. So, that's the main reason. But the question, I want Madam Kafui to do justice to this question.
Okay.
So thank you.
I think put your hands together for him for that question. Before they answer, none of these people come from the background that you assume they come from. None of these people come from that background. My co-moderator was interested in people telling their stories, and I had to ask him, let us go for principles. But I think that your question has brought out the relevance of allowing the panelists to tell their stories. My wife was she's a nurse. She's now a nursing tutor. She was in Kolebu around the same time that Dr. Do was in Kolebu. And I think she didn't even know that you were a student. She only knew Dr. Do for his fried rice business. And she actually just thought that he was only there to sell, fried rice. And so none of these people, I just want to say that none of these people come from, none of them were born with a silver spoon in their mouth, but they will answer as we go. Okay, the second question. Please go ahead and ask. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for the session again. I want to testify here that I became a nurse as a result of one of our youth camp that I went, and then Dr. Lecha, the immediate past regional minister, came to speak passionately about health issues. So by then I was working somewhere, and I came back to school. People thought that I was not taking a right, but now it pays. Well, my question, I'm looking for business ideas from here, from the IT man. When I post on my status, averagely every day, people look at it, about 80 people plus 200 view it. So for some months now I've been thinking, what can I do to turn this into business? Thank you.
Okay, the third question.
Thank you very much. Powerful insight so far. I simply just want to ask, I realize each of our panelists definitely work with teams. I hear Madam Kafui mention a staff of about 30. Dr. Do definitely have people working under you. Mr. Katahina, wonderful people I look up to. I want to ask, how do you get the best out of your human resource? How do you get the very best out of them? I see Mr. Katahina touched on some communication bits, and I picked certain things I could implement. But how do you get the best out of them? And secondly, on the question Reverend asked Madam Kafui first, on the structures you put in place, what structures can you put in place to effectively get the best out of them? That is for we, those who are working, and then you want to do business on the side. How do you effectively manage that side so that you still get the best out of them? That is better vision.
I would like to ask, we heard some school of thought actually say that do not put all your eggs in one basket. So I want to actually ask, what is the difference between not putting your eggs in one basket and then staying focused? That's my first question. And then, what advice can you give us in a summary about starting a new business, especially when it has to do with rendering services, not buying and selling? Thank you.
Okay, so we'll start from Kafui. Dr. Do will come. And
so I want to start with the goodwill part. You know, goodwill is not something you buy from the market. Goodwill is an end product of your actions and inactions in your daily life whilst you execute your business. Goodwill, it's actually a result from how you keep your reputation, the image you create for yourself out there. That is what builds your goodwill. So now, let's say Robert. I've known Robert since I'm sure like 5 years or 6 years. Now we are 40. So it's about 35 years of knowing Robert. I know what Robert stands for. So when Robert needs something from somewhere, I can vouch for Robert. That is what Robert's currency is. And that is the goodwill he enjoys. I don't know if that's okay for you. You get that? Right. Then you asked about family wealth. My dad was a public servant up until he took care of us alone. I was raised by him. There was no pot of wealth anywhere. He relied on his salary, and that was what he used to cater for my elder brother and I. He rather prioritized savings And that was, a virtue he inculcated in us. So even in our small little money that we have, we save. So there was no wealth anywhere that I had to dip my hands into to do my business. No. But again, let me tell you something. When you start a business, we all know no bank is going to give you money unless you build a certain trail of record and they see that, yes, your business is investor ready or it has scalability, how will I say it is scalable. That is when banks will give you money. How would your business be investor ready? That comes to the man's, the HR person's question. The structures that I had actually put some few points here that I can even give you quickly, okay? Now, you have to look at your understanding the market that you want to deal with, okay? Mr. Human Resource Man, what is it? The man who asked it? Yes. Understanding that market, okay? And clear vision and goals, you understand? And then being customer focused. I'll just give you that 3. You understand? When you follow some of this, or when you follow all this, it automatically aligns or structures your business because it requires you to do certain things on daily basis. I don't know if you get me. It requires you to do certain things on daily basis. Customer focus means you are going to identify the customer, you are going to know the needs of the customer relations, keeping your customer feedbacks. So automatically, once you tick those boxes, it just structures your business. That's how it works. Do you get it? Now, the HR, you want to know how we pick our teams or something. How to get the best out of the team. You know, funny enough, I have a degree in HR. So the little knowledge I got from, even though I've employed an HR, and again, my father is an HR professional. Yes. So when I'm choosing my team, I learned a lot from it. Now, to keep a team, it's a difficult task, but it's doable. Everybody wants to feel appreciated. Nobody likes to be micromanaged. You like to be micromanaged? No, you want to bring out your full potential. So in my case, I allow my team to take certain level of decisions. I have remuneration models that I have in place to motivate my workers to come to work. One of the videos I keep, and sometimes I watch every time, is that during our end of year, one of the workers said, even when she is off, she wants to come to work. It gets me fulfilled. Not because I'm the super boss, but I understand them. You need to understand your workers. You need to know what their needs are. You need to understand that they are humans just like you. So that how you want to take your day offs, how you want to be talked to, how you want to be included in taking decisions, how you want to be appreciated, your workers also want to experience the same thing. By so doing, when you meet or even when you meet all this, they will still be with you. They want to see, also they want to see your vision. They want to buy into your vision. They want to see their career path, whether it aligns with your vision. So you need to spend time to buy them into your vision. And then you make sure you are a future leader, not the backwards kind of leader. I hope good.
Okay, yep. When you get people working for you, if they know you have their interests, they will give their best. Be interested in what the people working for you are interested in, about their family, about their life. Make that extra. It shouldn't be just that they've come to work, they work, you pay them, and off they go. Try to know where they stay. Okay, yeah. So I told you that I grew up in Ho. I went to school in Ho Dome. I went to Hokpoji. And when I was in JHS1 in Hokpoji, one of my cousins was attending school at Sunrise. So I went to Sunrise to visit my cousin. It was a vacation, like a classes.